Welcome to the General Administration of Traffic and the Licenses Affairs Department. Holotech Group also welcomes you to the self-service program of the Unified Theoretical and Electronic Training. Traffic signs. While driving on the road, the driver notices the presence of a large number of different shapes and colors of road signs, which are installed on poles on the sides of the streets and intersections. Traffic signs are placed in order to inform drivers of an important information that facilitates his use of the road on which he is driving, and to avoid the occurrence of an accident that may endanger his life and the lives of others. Let's start learning driving in the right way to reach a combination of both safe and professional driving on our country's roads. Let the tour begin. Roundabouts. Definition of a roundabout. It is a crossroad, consists of one or more lanes. In its middle, there is a central island in a circular shape. All vehicles must move anti-clockwise. Roundabout direction mandatory signs. The driver must adhere to the direction of motion on the intersection ahead, which is in the form of a roundabout, and he has to apply the roundabout rule to move anti-clockwise as the arrows indicate on the mandatory sign. The driver must adhere to the direction on the sign that indicates to the right. Hence, he has to reduce speed of his vehicle and take the lane suitable to the direction that he wants to move in. Roundabout warning signs. The driver must be aware and warned that there is a roundabout ahead. Hence, he has to reduce his speed and give way to the vehicles entering to the roundabout. Roundabout directional informatory signs. These signs are placed to indicate the remaining distance to roundabout entrance. Roundabout warning road marking. It is used to warn the driver of the existence of a roundabout and requires to reduce speed. It exists before roundabout entrance in white color. Rules followed in dealing with two-lane roundabouts. A. Turn right, first exit. When turn right, do the following. Approach roundabout in the right lane and remain in this lane. Give right turn signal when approaching. Verify traffic motion at the left side. Give way to vehicles coming from the left if there are vehicles coming. Remain the signal until exiting from the roundabout. Give way to pedestrians when turning right. Exit from roundabout to the right lane of the road. B. Moving forward in a straight line, second exit. If you want to move forward in a straight line, do the following. Approach the roundabout in the lane that leads you to the lane you want after crossing roundabout. You have to take the decision early. When entering the roundabout, verify traffic motion at the left side and give way to the coming vehicles and keep moving if the road is clear. Give right turn signal after passing the first exit to make drivers know that you are exiting from the roundabout to the second exit. C. Turn left, third or fourth exit. If you want to turn left, do the following. Approach roundabout always in the left lane or as indicated by arrows on the road. Remain in the same lane while moving around the roundabout. When exiting, give right turn signal after passing the second or the third exit according to your direction to make drivers know that you will exit from the roundabout at the next exit. Verify that there are no vehicles at your right when you start to exit. Rules followed in dealing with 3-lane roundabouts. A. Turn right first exit. It is the same as 2-lane roundabout. Do the following. Approach in the right lane and remain in this lane. Give right turn signal when approaching. Verify traffic motion at the left side. Give way to the coming vehicles. Remain the signal until exiting from the roundabout. Exit from roundabout to the right lane of the road. B. Moving forward in a straight line, second exit. It is the same as 2-lane roundabout, and selection of the lane depends on what you will do after passing the roundabout. This will be decided according to your selection of the right lane or the middle lane. If you are required to do something at the right after exiting from the roundabout, select the right lane. You can select right lane or the middle lane. Verify traffic motion at your left when entering the roundabout. Give way if there are vehicles coming and keep going if the road is clear. Keep in the lane while moving around the roundabout and when exiting from it. Give right signal after passing the first exit to make drivers know that you will exit from the next exit. Verify vehicles at your right while you are about to exit from the roundabout. C. Turn left, third or fourth exit. It is the same as the 2-lane roundabout, but planning here is more important, so do the following. Make sure to verify the direction signs and road surface markings accurately, where it will guide you to the correct lane. Keep in the same lane when moving in the roundabout and turn in the lane when leaving the roundabout. Give your right signal after passing the second exit to make others know that you will leave at the next exit. This is important specifically in 3-lane roundabout, where you can cross 2 lanes to exit from the roundabout. Verify vehicles at your right while you are about to exit from the roundabout. Roundabout enter and exit signals. The use of the signal when entering to the roundabout is not so important, but using the signal when you want to exit from the roundabout is very important in order to make vehicle drivers inside roundabout know your intention to exit to give you the way to exit safely from the roundabout. Therefore, select the suitable lane before arriving the roundabout and keep in this lane. You will notice the continuous lines that indicate to the prohibition of change the lane before entering the roundabout. Also, you have to give way to traffic motion inside the roundabout. When you want to leave it, use right indicator to alert and make drivers know that you will leave the roundabout. Exit cases from roundabout and places of using right indicator if you want to leave the roundabout can be summarized as follows. When using the first exit of roundabout, Use the right lane in 2-lane or 3-lane roundabout to enter when you want to exit from the roundabout from the first exit. And when exiting from the roundabout, use always the right signal to alert other road users. And that's when you want to exit from the first exit. When using the second exit, choose the right lane when you enter a roundabout with 2 lanes or the middle lane on a roundabout with 3 lanes. You don't need to use turn signals when you enter. But when you are about to exit, use the right turn signal after you cross the first exit, and check the surrounding vehicles to see the blind spots. When using the third exit, choose the left lane to enter a roundabout with 2 or 3 lanes. And when you leave, use the right turn signal when you pass the second exit. Check other vehicles to see the blind spots. When using the fourth exit, when you go for U-turn, choose the left lane of a roundabout with 2 or 3 lanes. When you exit, use the right turn signal after passing the third exit and check the vehicles around you to see the blind spots. Fifth section, roundabout with a traffic light. Sometimes roundabouts are controlled by traffic lights operated as follows. 1. Operation of a traffic light with its 3 colors. When a traffic light is operated on the roundabout, it will indicate the following. A. Red color. Stop completely and wait. B. Green color. You can enter the roundabout or keep going. C. Yellow color. You must be warned and give way to vehicles inside the roundabout. 2. When traffic light stops and the yellow light is flashing on the entire intersection. In this case, follow give-way rules so that priority is given to vehicles inside the roundabout. Roads and lanes. Definitions. Road. It is the path opened for motion of land transport means, traction means, pedestrians and animals, whether the path is of the public roads, bridges, squares, routes, wharf, yards, or other places available for people to use, with or without permission, even if they are fenced. Road lane. It is any part of the longitudinal parts to which the carriageway is divided, and its width allows pass of one row of successive vehicles, whether bordered or not by longitudinal marks on the surface of the road. Carriageway. It is the section of the road used usually for motion of vehicles. It consists of one or more lanes in the traffic direction, and the carriageway is separated by central islands, metal barriers, cement barriers, or by using signs or road surface markings. Traffic direction. It is the direction of motion in the right side of the road, and it consists of one or more lanes either in one or two directions. Shoulder of the road. It is a part of the road in line with it from the two sides and is prepared for emergency stopping of vehicles. Second section. Types of roads. 1. Roads with one lane or more in one direction. The motion is in one direction in all lanes and is determined by direction marks, road arrows. Turning and returning back is prohibited. 2. Roads with one lane and two directions. They are either separated by central island or longitudinal continuous lines, where overtaking is absolutely prohibited, or separated by dashed longitudinal lines and overtaking is allowed at specific areas. 3. Roads with two lanes or more in two directions. Directions are separated by a central island or determined by continuous longitudinal lines. The vehicle driver is prohibited to cross or move on the lines, and in this case, it is prohibited to move from a direction to another, while lane lines are determined by dashed longitudinal lines allowing to move from one lane to another. Third section. Main lanes. 1. Right lane and its uses. When driving with slow or low speed. If the driver wants to move to another road at his right. In case of meeting another vehicle coming from the opposite direction. If he wants to stop and exit to stopping lane or out of the carriageway. When a driver of a vehicle coming from behind wants to overtake. In case of his approach from turns or from high tops, when visibility in the road is insufficient. When driving heavy vehicles. 2. Middle lane and its uses. When driving with a speed less than the speed limit allowed on the road, medium speed. In case of motion forward in a straight line. 3. Left lane and its uses. When driving with the speed limit allowed on the road. In case of overtaking. In case of turning left. Fourth section. Sublanes. 1. Accelerating lane. It is a side lane in which vehicles coming from a sub-road shall accelerate before merging and entering in the main road, so that their speed become equal to the speed of vehicles existing on the main road. 2. Decelerating lane. It is a side lane used by the vehicles that want to leave the main road and enter in a sub-road to reduce their speed to become appropriate to enter the sub-road. 3. Storage lane. It is an additional lane in the road allocated for vehicles that want to turn and return back to the opposite direction because they stopped and wait for the safe, suitable time to turn and return without becoming an obstacle to the traffic or causing a traffic accident. 4. Ascending lane. It is an additional lane in the road allocated for trucks that move slowly during ascending to give way to the vehicles in behind to overtake. 5. Bicycles lane. It is an additional lane in the road allocated for bicycles or bicycles and pedestrians and other vehicles are prohibited to move on it. 6. Public transport lane. It is a lane on the road allocated for public transport and other vehicles are prohibited to move on it. 7. Stopping or emergency lane. It is allocated for stopping of vehicles if they are faulty and can be used by emergency vehicles in case of accidents. Fifth section. Lane changing. 1. Main aim of moving from a lane to another. A. Turn right to the left. B. Overtaking. C. Increase or decrease the speed. Two. Rules of lane using and changing. Any vehicle driver wants to exit from the lane of the vehicle he follows, change his vehicle to the right or the left of the lane, or enter in another lane, turn left or right, head to a side road, or enter a place adjacent to the road, or exit from it, turn and return back, he has to do the following. A. Inspect the blind spots by turning his head. B. Look at the mirrors and make sure of the possibility to do so without subjecting himself or others to risk. C. To take into consideration the positions of other road users, their direction, and their speed. D. To declare his intention clearly at a sufficient distance by using direction signals in his vehicle and hand signals when necessary, and this warning from the signals remain throughout the duration of motion and remove it after its completion. E. To approach as possible the right edge of the carriageway if he will move to another road at his right, and approach as possible to the axis of carriageway if he will move to another road at his left gradually with caution during lane changing. F. Not using more than one lane at the same time except in the above-mentioned cases of transfer. Sixth section. Cases of obligation to move near to the right edge of the carriageway. 1. Moving to another road at his right. 2. Meeting another vehicle coming from the opposite direction. 3. The vehicle is overtaken by a driver of a vehicle coming from behind. 4. Insufficient visibility on the road. Drivers of passenger vehicles of different types, like bus, transportation cars like trucks, motor vehicles and equipments, tractors and any motor vehicle trailing a trailer or semi-trailer, have to move at the right side of the road and not to overtake other vehicles. Seventh section. Lane using. If the carriageway is divided into two lanes, bordered by continuous long lines, vehicle driver is prohibited to cross or move on it. If the carriageway has two directions divided into 3 lanes, vehicle driver is allowed to use the middle lane after making sure that this will not constitute a risk to others or traffic motion. In all cases, it is not allowed to use the traffic lane at the edge of the opposite direction of the lane that he occupies, and it is not allowed to change his lane except after making sure that this does not constitute a risk to others or traffic motion. Eighth section. General guidelines and ethics on dealing with lanes. If two vehicles met from two opposite directions on a road of width insufficient to accommodate their pass together, the two drivers have to reduce their speed and move with their vehicles to the right edge of the carriageway as possible, or exceed the edge of the carriageway if necessary to ensure avoiding any collision. It is not allowed for any vehicle to occupy more than half of the carriageway in case of meeting another vehicle. If two vehicles met in a carriageway of a width insufficient to pass both together because of the existence of an obstacle on the road lane allocated for one of them, the driver of the lane that moves on the lane that contains the obstacle has to give way to the opposing vehicle even if the driver of the first vehicle is obliged to stop. Timing is everything. And when you're on a highway, every second counts. We usually think of stopping in terms of space, but what really matters is time. It takes about 1 second to notice potential risks in front of you, and another second to react, hit the brakes, and slow down. So you wanna keep yourself at least 2 seconds between the car in front of you and your vehicle. To measure, wait for the car ahead of you to pass a set object. Tree, road sign, light pole, any clear mark will do. After passes, start counting 1001 and 1002. If you reach that same object before you reach 2, you're too close. Of course, this 2-second baseline is right for a car in normal driving conditions. Driving in bad weather, add 1 more second. Driving an SUV, another second. If you're driving a commercial vehicle, it's gotta be at least 5 seconds. So don't forget the 2-second rule, and don't forget to share these safety tips with your friends and family. There are hundreds of thousands of track accidents every year. Driving a vehicle this size, that's a tough job. Imagine trying to stop 80,000 pounds going 80 kilometers an hour. That tempting space trucks leave in front of them, well, that's there because they need it. When you cut in front of the truck, you're taking that buffer room away, which leaves them no space to stop, which is really a bad idea. Driving too close behind a truck isn't safe either. A tractor-trailer blocks a huge part of your view, making it hard to see what's up ahead. If they have to stop, your only warning is their brake lights, and sometimes that's just not enough. So always allow room for the trucks and give yourself a few extra seconds of space in front or behind them. Remember the track zone when you're on the road, and don't forget to share these safety tips with your friends and family. Parking rules and obligations. Definitions. Waiting parking. It is parking of the vehicle in a place for a finite or an infinite time period. Stopping. Stopping of the vehicle for a time period necessary for moving, taking or dropping persons, loading or unloading goods. Pedestrians crossing place. It is a place allocated for pedestrians crossings marked for this purpose on the road, provided that the driver stops before it to give way to pedestrians to cross safely. Handicap parking. It is a place allocated for the handicaps, which is equipped with signs and road surface markings indicating it. Road shoulder. It is a part of the road in line with it from the two sides prepared for emergency stopping of vehicles. Second section. Parking signs and marks. Traffic signals, signs. No parking or stopping sign. No parking or stopping sign is a circular sign with a red frame and blue background with a red diagonal, while no stopping sign includes two crossed red diagonals. End of speed limit sign. It is a circular sign with white background, and the speed is determined inside in black color to indicate the end of the speed limit. It is characterized by inclined black lines. Parking directional sign. It is a rectangular sign with blue background, written inside letter P in white color to guide road users to the parking place. Handicap parking sign. It is a rectangular sign with a blue background, contains a white square drawn inside handicap logo in black color to guide road users to parking place of the handicaps. Bus parking sign. It is a rectangular sign with blue background, contains a white square, drawn inside it a picture of a bus or a train in black color to guide road users to the parking place of buses and trains. Parking and stopping rules and obligations. It is prohibited to disrupt the use of the paid parking with meters or cause a congestion there. Vehicle driver is prohibited to leave his vehicle on the road except after taking the necessary actions that avoid the occurrence of any accident caused by this and make sure that its left will not obstruct traffic. It is prohibited to leave the vehicle with the ignition key inside. Any person possesses a vehicle shall not stop it and leave it on the road under any condition that may hinder traffic or subject road users to risks. And if he failed to transfer the vehicle within a reasonable period, the licensing authority may transfer it, and the vehicle owner commits to pay costs of the transfer. Vehicles should not be left on the road in a condition that may subject others and their money to risk, obstruct or hinder traffic motion. It is not allowed, without any written permit, to place any obstacles or objects that may hinder traffic, pedestrians or occupy the road. Fourth section. Rules of parallel parking between two vehicles. It is a type of parallel parking which is stopping the vehicle between two vehicles queuing in line beside the sidewalk. Parking or queuing conditions. It is prohibited to disrupt the use of the paid parking with meters or cause congestion there. Vehicle driver is prohibited to leave his vehicle on the road except after taking the necessary actions that avoid the occurrence of any accident caused by this, and make sure that leaving it will not obstruct traffic. It is prohibited to leave the vehicle with the ignition key inside. Any person possesses a vehicle shall not stop it and leave it on the road under any condition that may hinder traffic or subject road users to risks. And if he failed to transfer the vehicle within a reasonable period, the licensing authority may transfer it, and the vehicle owner commits to pay costs of the transfer. Vehicles should not be left on the road in a condition that may subject others and their money to risk, obstruct or hinder traffic motion. It is not allowed, without any written permit, to place any obstacles or objects that may hinder traffic, pedestrians or occupy the road. Rules and procedures of parking between two vehicles, queuing. A. Parking in line with the vehicle in front of parking place at a side distance of half a meter approximately. B. Put front wheels of your vehicle to the extreme right, then continue reversing. C. When noise of your vehicle exceeds the vehicle parking in front of you, put your vehicle's front wheels to the extreme left and continue reversing. D. When you feel that your vehicle becomes in parallel to the edge of the road, put your vehicle front wheels straight, taking into consideration to park your vehicle in the middle. When parking on a hill or a steep road, it is important that you prevent your vehicle from rolling into traffic if the parking brake were to fail. Simply turning your front wheels to the correct position and setting the parking brake can prevent a vehicle from accidentally rolling into traffic. 1. To park uphill or an incline, identify and slowly pull into the parking space. Once you are positioned in the space, rotate the front wheels all the way to the left. With the front of the tires pointing away from the curb, place the vehicle in park and set the parking brake. In this position, if the parking brake were to fail, the vehicle would roll back until the front wheels are stopped by the curb. 2.